What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to talk about pass rusher Arnold Ebiketie, and is Arnold Ebiketie a draft bust? But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, is Arnold Ebiketie a draft bust? Personally, I don't believe that Arnold Ebiketie is a draft bust. He was drafted in the second round 3 seasons ago by our Atlanta Falcons out of Penn State. And he has in his career 14.5 sacks. The last 2 seasons, he's had 6 sacks. His rookie season, he had 2.5 sacks. But personally, I really feel like Arnold Ebiketie is showing an upward trajectory. I do think that he's a player that's getting better. And I really feel like last season he didn't get enough snaps for some reason. It looks like he only started about 2 games last year, if I'm not mistaken, for our Atlanta Falcons. Majority of the year we had guys like Lorenzo Carter starting in front of him. I'm not too sure why, because last season Arnold Ebiketie led the Atlanta Falcons in sacks with 6 sacks. Lorenzo Carter had 0 sacks last year for the Atlanta Falcons. And I really feel like Arnold Ebiketie is one of those guys that I feel like should be a starter or should have been a starter last year. I'm not too sure if it was because of the scheme that Jimmy Lake was running, the reason why Arnold Ebiketie didn't get the snaps he should have gotten last year. They were mainly using him like as a rotational pass rusher, putting him in third and long situations. And at times when they would rotate the defensive line, they would give Arnold Ebiketie a chance to rush the passer. Now, we did have other guys on the roster like Matthew Judon, who also was playing in front of him, but that was well deserved because Matthew Judon is a former Pro Bowler, is one of those guys that's one of the better veteran type pass rushers in the game. But outside of Matthew Judon on the roster last year, I really feel like Arnold Ebiketie was our best pass rusher. And I really feel like he's only going to continue to get better. Now, I'm not too sure if Arnold Ebiketie will get another contract, because this is like a prove it type year for Arnold Ebiketie, being that he's going into the last year on his deal, and next year he'll be an unrestricted free agent. We did bring in guys like Leonard Floyd to help this team that's on a 1-year deal. So depending on how well Arnold Ebiketie plays this season, I could see him being a player that the Falcons could bring back like on a short deal if he has a really good season this year. Now, we know that we brought in guys like Jalen Walker and guys like James Pierce Jr., who I think will eventually be the stars on this Atlanta Falcons team as far as the pass rush. But as you guys know, I always talk about strength in numbers, that you want to have multiple guys that can rush the passer. So even if Jalen Walker breaks out, even if James Pierce Jr. breaks out, I really feel like Arnold Ebiketie is a consistent pass rusher. If you get like 6 to 10 sacks in the season, that's pretty good, coming from an edge rusher, getting like 6 to 10 sacks out of a player. I've seen guys have about 6 sacks or less, even less than 6 sacks, and make Pro Bowls. So I really feel like the reason Arnold Ebiketie doesn't get the credit that he deserves is because he's not one of those big splash type players as far as explosiveness and things of that nature. And because the Atlanta Falcons haven't won over the last couple years, Arnold Ebiketie is one of those guys that's had a lot of dirt thrown on his name. Now, has he been great? No, I don't think that he's been great, but I don't think at this point we can call him a draft bust. I really feel like a draft bust is if he was a player that was only getting like 2 sacks every season or 1 sack a season or no sacks. At that point, I think you could call him a draft bust. But being that he's not even a first round pick, he was picked in the second round, and being that he's giving you 14.5 sacks over the last 3 years, gave you 6 sacks the last 2 years, I really feel like that's really solid. I really feel like the Falcons' biggest issue with the pass rush is we haven't been able to stop the run, to put teams in third and long situations, to create opportunities for our pass rushers. And then for 2, I really feel like the Falcons haven't had a multitude of guys that can get you between 6 and 10 sacks. Last year, you only had Caden Ellis, who I think had 5.5 sacks, and Arnold Ebiketie, who had 6 sacks. But outside of those two guys, and I believe Matthew Judon also had maybe 5.5. Outside of those guys, we really haven't had consistent pass rush out of anyone else on this Atlanta Falcons roster. And I really feel like on each team, you need between like 5 to 6 guys that can get you between that 6 to 10 sacks on your roster. If you have a rotation of guys that can get pressure, usually those are the better teams in the league as far as rushing the passer and getting like 40 sacks as a team, which usually is the goal. You want to get anywhere between 40 to 45 sacks out of your whole defensive line unit. And the Falcons haven't sniffed 40 sacks in a while. So I really feel like Arnold Ebiketie is not the problem. I do think that Arnold Ebiketie struggled to set the edge and things of that nature early on in his career. He had to learn how to play the run and not just be strictly a pass rusher. But I really feel like he does need more opportunities where he can get to the passer. And I think this year, with us bringing on the new coaching staff and the new coaches like Coach Nate Ollie, who came over from the Houston Texans, he's one of those guys that understands that attack play style for your defensive line and having that mindset of being in attack mode. He talked about the team being able to throw haymakers all game long, and the way that you do that is having multiple guys that you can rotate in. So I really feel like we're going to see Arnold Ebiketie and some of these guys' numbers jump up because they're going to be fresh and able to rush the passer. But you guys give me your thoughts on Arnold Ebiketie. Do you believe he's a draft bust? Personally, I don't believe that he's a bust. I do think that for a second-round pick, he's done a really solid job of getting you anywhere between 6 and 10 sacks a year, which I look for out of players. But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.